Well, I'm going to demonstrate how to use the layers. It's called Layers of Beauty. Lovely 5-layer masking set. And I will show you different ways how you can use it for card making. There is a notch on one corner to help with positioning your mask correctly. Each mask is numbered 1 through 5, so you know the order to use each one. I have taped 3 corners to help me keep the same positioning of my masks. I decided to tape my paper down so it won't shift on me. I am now ready to begin the fun stuff, the colors. I chose 3 values of pink, light, medium, and dark for the roses, and 2 values of yellow for the small flowers. I use the blending brushes to apply the colors in circular motions. I use a different brush for each color because I don't like to blend my inks. The thumb daubers work best for the small flowers and leaves because it's a small area to work. Well, I finally did it. I signed up with Stampin' Up! To be a demonstrator. I took advantage of an offer to get double my money's worth in products. Whether or not I stick with it, I don't know for sure. We'll see how it goes. I do have a lot of Stampin' Up! Products, and I do love Stampin' Up! Beautiful papers. They have gorgeous papers, and I appreciate the quality of their cardstock, so I always go back to them for papers. So now, if you want, you can shop with me. If you like what I'm showing you, you can purchase it for yourself. This arrangement is a perfect size for a standard card, 5.5 inch by 4.5 inch. It fills up the page very nicely, leaving a little bit of space to add a sentiment, and 2 values of green, light and dark, for the leaves. With my introductory package, I got this lovely stamp set. I got to choose which products I wanted to get, and I do love roses. It's my favorite flower. Who doesn't love roses? I'm showing you my process from a different angle so that you can see how I organize my inks and my masks, and how I switch colors and relocate the used masks. When you develop a system or process and do things in an organized manner, you can do multiple printings in one sitting, saving you time. My inks are lined up one way when I begin. Well, I'm going to demonstrate how to use the layers. It's called Layers of Beauty, but they end up in a different location at the end. Same with the masks. Masking set. You can also see how I change and share several options for using it, which inking tool I use with each new color. This 5-layer mask gives you perfectly colored roses every time. This is a great set for people who don't like to color but they want to have that 2-dimensional look for the flowers. I do like to color, but it takes time to color. So this 5-layer mask set saves time in card making to make a lovely image. The Layers of Beauty bundled set, you can get you can buy the pieces individually, or you can buy them as a bundled set. Decorative mask, the set of 5, they cost $15 by themselves. If you get the outline stamp polymer stamp set, that is $20. The die cuts is $30. But if you buy all 3 together for $56.50, you're saving $8.50. When I'm finished with one print, I have to rearrange the order of the masks and inks again to start the next one so that I can keep my assembly line where I typically make several of a type of card, especially anniversary cards, to cover all the anniversaries for members of my family in a given year. If I do them all the same, I will know that they received a different card from me each year. So every year I have one style of anniversary card that I use, and the next year I will do something different. Did you know that every time you order with Stampin' Up, you can earn Stampin' rewards, which can add up, giving you discounts on future purchases or free products? My link is below the video in the description. If anything that I share with you interests you, you can purchase through that link. I opted to not use the outline image from my first cards. I did not use the outline stamp when I made these cards. I did it on white cardstock. I used this embossing frame to give it a sort of a lace edge, and I think it turned out very sweet and very lovely. And these are my anniversary cards for this year. Now, when I buy a stamp, I usually look to see if there's a die cut with it, because it's always so nice to have a die cut, so I don't have to spend extra time fussy cutting out the image. But I want to show you other ways to use this stamp set. I think this Layers of Beauty stamp set spells romanticism. Roses, lace, and embossing seem to go hand in hand. So I tried an arrangement with an embossing folder that also has roses on it. Gives the idea of lace. It's not really lace, but it makes me think of lace. This folder is also from Stampin' Up! I cut out an oval from the embossed paper because I wanted a flat center to stamp my happy anniversary on. And to give just a little bit of contrast, I inked the area inside of the oval with a soft pink before gluing the embossed frame onto my card base. And I placed the roses on the lower half of the card. Of course, it was too big, so I had to trim off some of the edges to make it fit the card. I didn't want to waste the embossed oval cutout, so I decided to use it on another card. Know me, I like to use up everything, and I don't like to have leftover scraps. I always try to maximize my scraps. If you watch any of my videos, you'll see that a consistent theme is using my scraps wisely. I was so anxious to test out these stencil masks, that I did not realize I had them upside down. So my image was reversed. Then when I tried using the die, it was reversed, and I thought, oh no, the makers had made a mistake. After washing my stencils, I realized that I was the one who goofed and used the wrong side. The masks are numbered 1 through 5, so if you keep those numbers facing up, you will know you're using the right side. But that is one beauty of this image. If you want to have a reversed image, you want it to face the other position, you can use them on the back side as well, as long as you use them in the correct order. But remember, the die cuts will only work on the proper side. You can use the whole image, or you can cut it up and arrange it how you want it. And I give you an example of that. Customize it with additional stems and small flowers as you see fit. So it's a very adaptable set. Let me show you when using the polymer stamp with a black outline. Stamp it on here because I want to show you the difference. So once I have it lined up properly, I will mark the position that this needs to be. Please forgive my voice. I have had a cold and my voice is extremely rough. Probably should do one more just to be sure. Let me just zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so this is the position of the mask. Okay, I'm going to do the same colors that I did before. I'll start with my lightest color. My thumb dauber's out. I love these little things. Got them off of Amazon. Doesn't even hardly look like I'm putting any color on, but I find it's better to have a very light color for the first color and a fairly dark color for the last color, because using a very light color for the first color and a darker color, medium color, and really dark color for the last color, the stronger the contrast, the better the rose looks. I want to just take this off so you can see the color now. Let me zoom in. You see the color. Now, let me zoom out so you can watch what I'm doing. Alright, but I need to do the yellow flowers. Not very light. I wish it were lighter. Now I'm going to go to my second color. Apply our second stamp. My notch this time is down below. Line it up with my image, and my second color is my medium color. Guess that's it. Alright, I'm going to do my second for the small flowers. This color is a little stronger, which almost looks like the same, but I guess it's not. I do see two colors, light and dark. Now for the last color. This color, is it dark enough, or should I go with something darker? I think this is the color I used last time. I just want to zoom in so you can see the progress of it. Alright, number 3. This is the darkest color. If I think it's not dark enough, I can always grab another color and just go over that again. Let me look. not bad. It could have been just a little darker. Alright, now for the center of the small flowers. For that, I'm using sort of a yellowish green color, wild wasabi. Since the flowers are yellow, I think the center should be a green. They could be brown, right? That is the third one. Now to do the leaves. I have chosen two colors. A sort of a medium green. This is called gumball green. I think this is an old, outdated color, but I'll still use it. The leaves. Number 4. This mask protects the roses so we won't get any green on the roses. We'll only be coloring the leaves. All the flowers are protected. Now this color looks fairly dark. Maybe I should have went with something lighter. Now you have leaves. And now for number 5, line it up. We'll switch to our darkest color. Is it dark enough? Let me look at this. See, to me, that right there looks darker than I expected. So I'm going to switch up my color. I'm going to go with something, I think I'll go with evergreen, because that is darker than I expected. We have a darker green. So all the open spaces. Yeah, I'm glad I went to a darker green, because my leaf, that was a little darker than I expected. It would have been better had it been a lighter green. Okay, but those are similar colors that I used to the other ones. But what I don't like is that black outline. This is why I don't use black ink to outline my images, because it makes it look cartoony and takes away from the realism. Okay, here they are side by side. I want you to see the comparison. So here is the same image with and without the outline stamp, which I'm sort of calling it the outline stamp. As an artist, I do not like the black outline, but I think the black is what really hurts it. I think it takes away from the realism of the image. I think I chose a lighter pink, and it doesn't show up as nice. That is just so much sweeter. I really like that better than this. So you don't have to use this stamp. You can use just the 5 layered masking set without the outline. But I am going to show you something else. This time I have printed it with a blue. I think I'll change the color of my small flowers. Okay, I'm going to make these flowers purple and these pink. Now, since I was unhappy with the contrast, I felt like the contrast could have been stronger, I switched out my darkest color to even darker, rose red. And I also didn't like the lightness of that, so I went to a little bit darker pink, but I'm using the same middle color. The reason that I used blue ink instead of black, because it's less harsh. Black is very harsh. I'm still using the outline. To make red look darker, you could add blue to it. Blue and red make purple. So that'll be fine for the outside edges. For the leaves, if you want to make green look darker with a dark outline, you could mix blue with dark green. That's why that'll work. And I switched to purple flowers because if I do yellow with this blue outline, it's not going to look good. So I'm going to make the small flowers purple. I'm going to do some flowers, some roses in different colors to give you ideas. You don't have to do all pink roses. I could actually do red roses, changing the colors. Okay, those are the big roses. Now to do the purple, I'm choosing Highland Heather. That's what it looks like so far. Let me zoom in so you can see. Number 2 place. Do our second pink, same color I used last time. Oops. Never keep too many inks open. Okay, medium color. Alright, now it's time to do the darker purple. on the flowers, the small flowers. Okay, looking pretty good. Now for mask number 3. And now for the drama, the darker shade, rose red. So it's not red red, not true red, but rose red. This is where the drama happens. Okay, so the small flowers are done. Actually, all the flowers are done. Ah, yes. Better. Still not sure about the outline. The color that I used for the center of the flowers last time was this color. I'm now using it as my lighter green because the color I used before was too dark. So I have chosen Wild Wasabi as my lighter green. Ah, yes. I like the purple flowers. It's funny how I like them better. I like the flowers instantly when I saw the green on there. All right, mask number 5. Now we'll switch to our darker green. Moment of truth. All right. The blue is still showing up on the pink flowers, but not showing up as much on the green leaves. So that's what it looks like with a blue outline, which is better than a black outline. Put them side by side. All right, I want to do one more. Now, when I printed that blue, without re-inking, I printed another, so the flower, the ink is barely there. I think this is going to be even better. And I use a different thumb dauber. I try to always put the same color on the thumb dauber. I do not mix colors on the thumb daubers. I haven't even used all of them. Darkest pink. Yeah, I was happy with that color. I'm sticking with it. I get so excited about pulling out the next color I forget to put away the previous ink. Okay, now the center of the flower. Oh, cat. Please don't step on my inks. No, leave my thumb daubers alone. I know they're little and you'd like to knock them over. You'd like to knock them on the floor, but please do not do that. No, 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 no. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave those thumb daubers right there. Do not mess with them, please. This is just the centers of the small flowers. Okay, now for the leaves. I already know I'm going to like this one best so far. Okay, light green for the leaves. Number 4. Cats are very good at not stepping on things. They know how to walk around things. But they like to play with things and knock things over. And seriously, I cannot do anything without a cat joining me. So let me just give her some space. So she'll lie down over there and I can continue to work. She loves to be with me when I am crafting. And so when I get a moment after I'm all done inking these, I will give her some time and pet her, and she'll be happy. They come to me when they need some attention. She probably just got up from her nap. Cats take about 3 or 4 naps a day. That's why they have so much energy. They nap frequently. Oh, if I napped as often as they did, I'd never get anything done. Pretty, pretty. I like it. I'm liking it. I think I want to try coloring this print because I just love it. I think it's so elegant, so beautiful. I love roses. I love coloring roses. I think I might just print it with the big stamp and the polymer stamp, and then nice. Okay, with the light blue you can hardly see it on the pink flowers, but my alignment was a little bit off, so the blue lines are showing up, and it might be because it was so light I couldn't see it, but I like this one best of all. Okay, let's run through it again. Here's the image with no outline at all, and it's lovely by itself. It's lovely. Here it is with the outline, the black outline. It's okay. I'll use it. I might actually go in with a pencil and touch it up a little bit just to hide those lines. And here it is with the blue, which is a little better, but the blue still shows up on the light pink. Maybe if I did red roses instead of pink roses, I could hide that blue line better. Here it is where I did a very light line, and this is the best one. It's really pretty. Although I'm totally happy with this. I'm totally happy with this, with no lines at all. It gives you options. I do want to do the flowers in some other colors, like, I don't know, does anybody like blue roses? I could do red rose. I could do yellow rose. I could try peach. I may play with it and do some different colors to see what arrangement I like best. So you have the option. Do you want to have this stamp to have the outline or not? Now I still have this one, and it's black. I may take this and color it with color pencils to see what I could do with my own hand, and I'll try some different colors. It's good to experiment and play with your products to see what you like, to see how they work. For yellow roses, I'm going to use Peekaboo Peach. So it's kind of a light orange, not too dark, so it should be fine. And that will make that into yellow roses. A lot of what we do is experiment. I'm going to try using this one more time, but this time I'm going to use a light gray. This is called Smoky Slate. So it'll give me a good print, but it won't be too dark. We'll see how it fares. That may solve the problem of the harsh lines around the image. It's so light, I can't tell if this thing is inked. Okay, there is color on it. It's just hard to see. Okay, that is much lighter. Let's try that and see how it works. I think I'll do a second one because I want to try some different color flowers, like blue, purple roses. Yeah, why not? All right, I'm getting smart now. You learn from doing. Instead of retaping it every single time, I'll keep the paper in that position. So when I tape these corners down, I will have it correct. Number one, let's get this into position. This way I won't have to retape it every single time. Even when I have to wash my masks or stencils. Stampin' Up! Calls them masks, but they are, I mean, yeah, that's what they are. Because they mask off colors, but they work like stencil. And it's a lovely design, and I think it was designed by a very successful Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So maybe when you get to be successful in it, they'll give you an opportunity to design. I've got some ideas I would love to have designed. So the beauty here is when I have to take these and go wash them and have to get a different card, I'll be able to place it in the same place without moving my tape. When you do things enough times, you find better ways of doing it. You get smarter. Everything we do is a learning process. I don't want my paper shifting. There. It's taped down. Back to pink. And I believe this is the first pink I used. Not the lightest one, but the one slightly darker. Because I just love pink roses. That's why I keep doing it in pink. I'm just trying to find the best option with using the outline stamp without having too harsh of a line. That's why I keep trying different things. You don't need to see me do this. I'll just do it and come back and show you what it looks like. This is with the gray outline. Let's see how it looks. Ah, yes, it needed to be darker. I'm glad I went with that color. I have chosen wisely. Okay, now the leaves I'm gonna do, or do I want to change the leaves? The green. Do I want to lighten up the green? All right, I think I'm gonna make a change. With the pink flowers being a softer color, I like the lighter green, but I'm still sticking with the dark green that I was using because that'll give drama. That contrast gives drama. And with art, I want the drama. I don't like drama in life. I could do without. I live a pretty peaceful existence with very little drama. I like it that way. But when it comes to art, I want drama. Do I like it? Yes. I have made wise choices. This is with the gray outline. I can live with that. That is very nice, and I'm very happy with my color choices. Yes. So, my conclusion is use a light gray for the outline. Whatever gray color you have. Mine is called Smoky Slate. It's the lightest gray that I have. And that is workable. So it doesn't look cartoony like the first image with the black. Black outline is too harsh. Gray outline, of course I did put my color on a little heavier. Gray outline, that is acceptable. It is such a lovely design. Really, it's a lovely design. Let's try yellow flowers. And here's the beauty of my system. I can just put this down, retape that, retape the corner, and I'm ready to go. Yellows too so far. This is my medium yellow. This is my dark yellow. I only have 3 yellows. I feel like that's not dark enough. So I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go with a light orange, which is Peekaboo Peach, the same color that I printed the image with. I think this will work better because it's darker. We shall see. Once again, Debra has chosen wisely. That looks good. That is the dark enough color. So that dark shadow is the same color as the outline. That works nicely. Now for the greens. Very lovely. You can still see a little bit of the outline around the leaves. The roses turned out beautiful, but I can live with that. So I'm hoping you're seeing the benefit of using lighter colors to ink your outlines, and then the coloring just looks so much nicer. Alright, I want to make some purple roses. And that's the last color I'm going to experiment with. Since I'm using the same greens, I don't have to wash those. But I don't want... Yeah, I'm going to have to change the color of the little flowers too. What color should they be? Red or blue? Alright, let me rinse these off. They just run them under the kitchen sink and the color just runs right off. And then we'll be back to do some purple flowers. Well, here's the purple. I'm not totally happy with it. The outline is okay, but this purple would have been better as my dark color. I guess I don't have an in-between color. I guess I need to look for another ink color. Something lighter than this, but not as dark as that. But it's It's okay. Everything else is fine. I wanted to do red roses, so I went with a darker pink as my soft color, sweet sugar plum. And then I switched to real red, and I forgot to change my stencil. And I started coloring. I was like, oh no. But then I says, you know what? I'm just going to go around the outside edge and just make it just a slight bit darker. Because I almost goofed up on this one. Number 2. I get too anxious. Make sure I could use extra dark here. Go over it twice so that part will be still highlighted. And I do want this to be a red rose, so since I just got the black outline, I thought I would go with some darker colors to see if I could make it work. Alright, that's stencil number 2. Now for stencil number 3, much darker. And this time for my shadow color, it's a Mary Malott. It's sort of, it might look slightly brownish, but that's the way red roses are going to look in the shadows. So I think that'll be a good color. I just hope it's dark enough to work. It appears to be. I'm anxious to see what that looks like, but I don't want to take it off just yet because I got to do the centers of the flowers, the small flowers, using the same greens that I have used before because I'm happy with those. Okay, do they look like red roses? Is the dark enough? Ooh, yeah. I still think I'll go in with a pencil and touch it up a little bit more. I guess I'm too much of a perfectionist. Okay, leaves number 4. And I'm not going to record this part. I'll just show you the end result. Take a look. Not bad. I'm going to do that last color. Both of these are done with black inks. You can get away with the black ink if you use darker, richer colors. The lighter colors, these outlines, I'm not happy with those. I'll probably pull up my color pencils and I'm going to work on those to try to hide those black lines. I may have to touch this up still, but it's not bad. It's not too bad. I think I could still color these better with color pencils. Some I like better than others, but I will use all of them. The ones that I'm least happy with, I will probably touch them up with color pencils to fix the parts that I don't like about them. Hopefully that helps you as you plan your strategy of what color combinations to use. Could have used blue flowers here, but I thought blue is too close to purple, so maybe I should do something different. Even though red and blue can be combined to make purple, so it's related. You know, even blue flowers would look nice with yellow. If I do yellow roses again, I might do blue flowers. Here I actually made a mistake and I grabbed the wrong purple, so I got the dark and the light mixed up. But oh well, it'll still work. Yeah, I don't like the harsh black outline. See, look at those flowers. And I don't like it. No border, with a border, light border. So you can decide what you prefer. I will play with these images probably tomorrow and show you other things you can do with this particular. I did end up going in with my color pencils on every single one of them to touch them up a little bit, just to hide those outer edges. I was going to put that in this video, but I feel like this video is already too long, so I think I'll make a separate video about the coloring of it. And I think, since it's going to be more detailed, I think I'll put that in my members only. So if you're interested in that, please consider joining. It doesn't cost very much to be a member for insider information. After some more experimentation, I plan to make a chart detailing what colors to use to print the outline stamp and which 3 colors are best for coloring the main rose. I will do peach, pink, red, purple, blue, and yellow. That chart will be available for members only. Also doing it for myself so that I can remember what colors I like best. You could use it in a portrait mode or a landscape position. So there we have it. Some of them could be turned this way. Like I think that one could, this one could. I think these will stay that way. And then there's this, which just has embossing around the edge. Different ways to use the flowers. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching.